Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, Ghana Financial Stability Fund expected to be operational by September this year as government moves to fast-track support for financial institutions hit by debt exchange program. Meanwhile, Association of Rural Banks appeals to Bank of Ghana to help their members recover locked-up funds 7 years after the financial sector cleanup. And tax experts urge government to ensure the operationalization of the Tax Appeals Board months after its establishment. Details coming up. My name is Darryl Kwan. First up, the Ghana Financial Stability Fund is now expected to be operational by September this year. This is what Joy Business has picked up from persons working on the fund. Here's George Yafe with more.
Government is now targeting September this year after it was able to complete work on the required documents that would guide the workings of the fund. The Ministry of Finance was initially looking at the fund taking off this month. However, challenges in securing the required financial support from the country's donors impacted on this date. Joy Business is learning that by September this year, it expects $200 million from the World Bank that should come in to capitalize the fund, as well as additional support from the African Development Bank. The Ministry of Finance has already indicated that government will commit $750 million to the 15 billion Ghana cedis fund. The Financial Stability Fund, according to government, is expected to support banks and financial institutions that were hit badly by the domestic debt exchange program. Commercial banks in the country should by September this year submit their recapitalization plans to the Bank of Ghana. Sources say this will help government to identify banks and other institutions that will need the necessary support from this fund. The Financial Stability Fund should be managed by the Bank of Ghana.
George Yafe with that report. The Association of Rural Banks says its members are still waiting for the Bank of Ghana to redeem its promise to help recover locked-up funds after the financial sector cleanup undertaken by the regulator. The association says the situation, coupled with the recent domestic debt exchange program, is posing a challenge to the operations. Speaking to Joy Business, Executive Director Comfort also appealed to the Bank of Ghana to expedite work in order to recover the locked-up funds of customers in time.
We still have some of our lock-up funds not being paid. And the DDEP also has come with its own challenges. So that one is actually affecting the rural banks. We've done some, our banks, ARBFS Bank has done some submission to the Ministry of Finance for consideration so that we can get some funds to cushion the RCBs. So we are looking forward to get a positive response from the government.
Executive Director of the Association of Rural Banks, Comfort Owusu. Now, economist and founding member of Bayport Savings and Loans, Kwame Pianim, has described calls by the Bank of Ghana for financial institutions to work on reducing cost of interest rates as timely. According to him, high cost of borrowing has been a challenge for businesses. Mr. Pianim was speaking at the 20th anniversary launch of Bayport Savings and Loans in Accra.
I know Nana Osenjes, he doesn't give praises for nothing. He was full of praise, and I think they want take good care of your non-performing loans, lower your interest. In Ghana, one of the things facing is high interest rate, and it's time we work to bring the interest rates down, and that was timely advice.
That was economist Kwame Pianim. Now, the managing director of Societe Generale PLC, Hakim Wizani, has said that the bank is well capitalized and positioned to meet the Bank of Ghana's planned recapitalization move. The central bank has directed banks to present their plan for examination. Speaking to the media at the Ghana Stock Exchange Facts Behind the Figures program, Mr. Wizani said the bank will be able to meet all requirements of the Bank of Ghana.
There is a need to recapitalize if you don't, as a bank, fulfill the conditions and the regulatory requirements and your ratios. At this stage today, for SG Ghana, you have seen that our ratios are globally good. The capital adequacy ratio, we finished 2022 at around 60%. We are above the requirements, so we are comfortable. We work towards maintaining this level of comfort, and whatever I would say that we always have to comply with the regulation, and if there is tomorrow a need to recapitalize, we will do it. But at this stage, there is no any indicator in the SG Ghana financials which says that there is a need for recapitalization.
You had Managing Director of Societe Generale Hakim Wizani. Some tax experts are urging government to ensure the operationalization of the Tax Appeals Board to arbitrate tax issues. Many organizations, including foreign entities, hailed the establishment of the board, but months after its formation, the board is yet to start work. Gordon Dade is one of the tax experts at accounting and auditing firm KPMG and has been speaking at the Ghanaian German Economic Association's Meet the Government Series 2023 program.
Government some time ago, passed a law to say the way we go about tax, tax objection process in this country, we need to look at it to adopt current practices that that are internationally accepted, and that is why government has introduced what we call the Tax Appeals Board. After the introduction of the law, we have not seen the board in operation. So government, announced the board members, and the good thing is that most of the members have been carefully selected to ensure that they are coming from people with good experience, good backgrounds. People who have practiced tax for some time, and then also people from the private sector who can actually provide clarity on issues when they get to them. And the other thing is that since they were introduced, we have not yet seen them in operation. We expect that by this time they are already operating and people can take their issues to them. But we are still discussing some of these things with government, and we know that very soon this will be operationalized.
Gordon Dade is Senior Manager in charge of tax at KPMG. Former Finance Minister Seth Terkper has warned government to tread cautiously on excessive borrowing from the domestic market. According to him, this could overburden the market, making it illiquid. Mr. Terkper argued that the situation could crowd out the private sector and reduce funds available for the expansion of small businesses.
So, I am giving these examples to show, that if we devastate our domestic bond market, we will be in a similar situation, and that the answer lies in proper debt management, proper macroeconomic management, and making provisions. The way we have handled the fiscal in particular has affected our domestic market. And when you talk about an African market, it includes its domestic market.
Former Finance Minister Seth Terkper there. The coalition of individual bondholders has said that its members will picket the Finance Ministry on Tuesday, the 11th of July, to demand payment of outstanding principals and coupons. The coalition added that it would also seek the immediate implementation of the agreement reached and captured in an MOU dated 16th May 2023 and signed between the coalition and the Ministry of Finance on behalf of government on all payment of bonds due. In other news, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta says Ghana needs about $12.5 billion to build a climate-resilient economy. According to him, the cost of climate change to Ghana cannot be understated. Mr. Ofori-Atta gave a breakdown indicating that $4.21 billion will be needed to implement the initiative at the national level, whilst $8.29 billion must be sourced from the international market. He spoke at the Global Shield Initiative and the Global Risk Modeling Alliance workshop.
Africa has the last 2 decades lost over 200 billion due to climate change, and in Ghana alone, we require some 4.2 billion at the national level and 8.29 billion from international sources to meet the cost of implementing adaptation actions according to NDCs. In order to build a climate-resilient economy and transition to a low-carbon development pathway, it is imperative that we make informed decisions based on reliable data at both the national and subnational levels in order to minimize the impact of climate change and enable development positive climate action.
You heard the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta turning out to Investor Eye, and today we'll shed light on some of the investment scams used on unsuspecting investors. Emmanuel Mensah appears as Director in charge of Risk Management Department at the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Then there's the reciprocity tactic. With that one, they'll give you something as a bait to invest, either something physical